receive order in complex query. some of them in the middle. I have here Covert entries labels. Covert entry now system live. Gang song is a war, it's not just harassment. It's harassment, yes, but it's also physical attacks and police and shock. And I had to wear clothes that acted so Covert like that well before. So how do I run my TI Covert into that system? Is a timestamp camera app. And you can watch benefit on the there's a live stream on there. And then there's a timestamp camera app video recorder there. And you want it plugged in. I guess it's a power. Guys, I'm gonna end this and allow Twitch. And then my name is SAHA and I'm calling people with this and follow the secret phone call things. I'm going to install one of the videos. by withholding the secret persecution from Covert. What is GameStop? It's a war. And withholding the second of patent weapons and strong labor and spray chemicals on psychological. The big part of psychological warfare called narcissistic abuse, narcissist dominance. And other part of videos, it will be blessed. It's like I'm not standing. They can reach the success and do it. Some of the things I've been teaching, the life portion, help you to survive and thrive. It's happening. One of the most important things you need to have a Covert system. You leave your home and you don't have a security system right inside your home. They call it the sneak inside your home. It goes to the food, buying the food, which it's called Covert on the gain software. Gains access to your home, all the pay for spare key, and those spare key are to do it. That's one of the things that people do to the US. Covert, here's like a home. Nobody wants you. They want to have a security system. Simply live stream and a video about how I do it. I sort of live stream on my laptop, and then I have a timestamp camera. I have a phone, a smartphone, where I download the video. Timestamp camera from Google Play Store. Not on the phone into the wall or the charger. Aim it at the front or from the inside. And I record the video. This without the system. The video. And here it is. So that's the video recorder. And it's really good inside of my front door. And over here, I have my laptop filming this one, live streaming that way actually. This Christian ministries and pastors that have been involved in this and any groups in the Bible, they are questioning against that. And if you don't like me, call a spade, or it's also just keep any groups is against talking per pastor, each state set up, and it wants to go on to the other group of church. Well, if you're doing evil things, and people like you doing these things there, and they have a social media, well, who's the problem? You like bully people, someone's like a bully, you bullied by you. It's like, yeah, this guy's a child bully. Then you start bullying somebody, and you go like, oh, don't let this guy call me what I am. Okay. Yeah, so King's office really also like this a lot, and there's several Christian ministries that call for this. The King's office, all these things that are instead of procedures. Take off the top layer for it. Put it in the washing machine. If you're going to be aware that it happened for all actions, and you should be interested in protecting them. Don't think you can do these weird laws that are there that come after water protecting TIPP basics, multiple quality layers, and covering as much surface area as possible. Teaching TIPP, you want multiple quality layers outside, and you want to cover as much surface area as possible, which means if I was outside and had quality layers all the way here, but this was open, a dog can walk and very easily get into my body because, yeah, this is all covered up, there's like a gap in all. So multiple color layers and covering as many, it's like square centimeters or square inches. On as little uncovered field as possible. And then this is internal field, which is about as before. Taking supplements, taking care of your health, what you eat, what's going, make your body still strong. So you're not as good as possible. So if it's moving straight from your food, you're not as good as your body. You will be if you eat a high sugar diet, that's important. That's all that's important. Sugar is important. If you're already exposed to something, and then you get poisoned by the program, it's going to hurt you more than somebody who's not poisoned at all. So all the low sugar diet, good one, I recommend if you get into fasting the next thing. First thing first, get on a supplement. Strong supplements with vitamin C, A, alcohol, vitamin C is one of the major don't believe the lies and one of these deep state puppets, pastor sellouts. And in the mystery, you say, our constitutionalist, Republican, whatever. No, you're not American, that's scandal. You can't go both ways. It's like somebody calls himself, I'm an American constitutionalist. So why have I seen you target me for this insult from America, which is anti-American? And it's like the extreme example of the opposite of American culture and constitutionalism, like the right to due process, not state actors target someone, take their freedoms without due process. But it's against all that you have taken orders for and worked for. Target me. It's something that attacks you with psychological warfare, physical warfare, all kinds of things, without due process. And here's the thing too. Targeted videos are not targeted for being bad, okay? Like game stalking is not something that's done for bad people to protect society. It's like I see all the times, it's like I'm constantly reminded of this fact. When I look at Swedish news, if I open up Facebook or something, like Expressen or something, some Swedish news company makes a story, it's like this guy got caught being a pedo baker, like a vegan baker. He was baking peas. Baking peas in the world, okay? Like recent yesterday, actually, I think it was. It's like somebody got caught for 30 counts or something, 30 plus counts of rape against children, okay? And they've been doing this for years. It's like contacting people on social media platforms, I think Snapchat or something, and getting like children to perform bad things. Like, do you understand what this is? It was a man who was 30 plus in Sweden. And they have been contacting like teenagers, children on social media, and then pretending to be bold, okay, like 8-year-olds, or hey, do this, or this, and do this, and that. They got busted after like a long time doing that, and they got sentenced to 8 years in prison, which effective time might be 6 or something, 6 years.
for like 30 plus counts of rape against children. Okay, this has technical concepts. And once again, it's like, oh, here's another guy who wants to totally legal thing. But it's like the problem is like, yeah, this is something we do to people, gang stalking. They're all bad and dangerous and criminals and evil and bad people. But it's like all the time I see the news story, some guy been doing something evil for a long time gets caught. Oh, here's another guy doing the worst of the worst. More like who actually is dangerous to children in society. Another one caught after years of doing that. Okay. And he wasn't on the go. And here's the thing too, I've been taught for more than a decade with gang stalking. So 10 years of gang stalking is worse than 10 years in prison, which what you get is really if you murder somebody. A lot of times, I just told you, 30 plus counts of child rape, the guy got 8 years. Okay. So in Sweden, a lot of times if you murder somebody, they end up getting between maybe 10, 15, 25 years. But it's a lot of people that murder someone and they get like around 10 years or 12 or something like that. So 10 years of gang stalking is worse than 10 years of being in prison. Why? Because if you're in prison, you don't have the state kind of poison you and spray you with chemicals when you come to off. It's like the punishment is boring. It's like you locked into a basic hotel and it's boring and it's restricted for freedom. And it's not like you have to worry about if the food is being poisoned. It's like, yeah, the prison also put arsenic in the food or something like this. Or trying to make them have accidents or something like this. So 10 years of the gang stalking again is worse than 10 years of like running standard going by the prison experiences. That 10 years of this gang stalking, 10 plus years, is worse than 10 years of prison time, which what you might get if you murder somebody and get proven guilty of that. So it's like it's so easy to dispute this and show that it's tyrannical, evil, and wrong. Okay? Because I never got proven guilty of anything. I have been convicted of rape, murder, anything serious. The worst thing I have in my criminal record is carrying a knife concealed in public, okay, for people, a crime against the knife law, many years ago, and petty theft, okay, which like 12 plus years ago. I think more than 50 years ago, I got petty theft, okay, so more than 10 years ago. So I haven't been convicted of anything, proven guilty, and they given the punishment of gang stalking. So due to Bible Church and the Woods and other pastors that have taught me for this gang stalking program, also it's going to be like physically, psychologically, they're taught about stalking cult, they're taught about stalking murder cult, Robert Baker, Eddie Woods, Matthew Gold, through the Bible Church, the Christian gang stalkers, and they're taught about murder cult, a death cult, working to destroy a person's life and targets life from the taught all the time. So they're working to help that program as well to destroy a person's life and keep falling to the life. So, it's like that is a participation that shows that I'm American. Because what is the American spirit that you believe in due process? That if the government, the state is going to do something and claim that it's punishment, yeah, it's a bad person that's been bad, that's why we're doing this to them. And look at what they're doing is attacking a person physically. Okay, work restricted freedoms, poisoning them, harassing them daily. Okay, which is like actually worse than any punishments. Like what this probably does, there's no crime you can commit. Like if you kill 10 people in Sweden, murder, there's nothing you can do. Like if you murder 12 people in Sweden, that's hypothetical, and get caught, there's nothing that can give you the government right to attack you physically. Spell stuff. There's no crimes. There's nothing wrong in Sweden that gives the government the right to attack you physically, like whip you or poison you, or like the persons go to perfume, that's purposely subjected to perfume to hurt you physically. Well, that's shooting in the leg with the water guns. The only time that the government can use attack your body is in self-defense. I mean, if you want these people, it's like hire drugs and charge police officers with machete and they shoot you from there. And now that's self-defense. It's not like, well, this guy was drunk yesterday Let's go to the critic sense or something like this. So here is the point. Gang stalking is real, and I'm gonna keep working to expose that. And if I go missing, you stop hearing from me. If I go to prison or a psych ward and die, then it means the other life. I don't care what they tell you. They tell you I did it to myself. I had an accident. Some inmate shamed me or something like this. That would have been them getting the inmate to shame me. Okay, like a hitman. Put somebody out and target me. It's like if I went to prison or cycle, we're going to have plans to get back in. The problem is going to recruit people or be in prison. Those other things. So, yeah, how about that? Target video, GameStop, target video, GameStop is real, also Latinos are not. I'm going to keep standing up for my freedoms and resisting this satanic persecution. And satanic, when I say satanic, for future, if I say this is some satanic wickedness. Satanic doesn't mean that I'm saying it's spiritual or something like this. Satanic basically means like super evil. It's like, if I see a news story where it's like, father murders his children or something like this, I bet that's some satanic stuff. Like that's sinful to the nth degree to a point where it's like, this is more obviously something that Satan would like people to do. Okay. The thief come out and can't be seen to destroy. Speaking of that, a lot of people think that we're Christians. You say by faith alone. So if you said the faith, you would say you're not saved. You say by faith alone. Now my king is saying faith alone also as Christian, which means I teach you're saved from hell, lake of fire, by only believing something, believing about the gospel. And what's it opposite, which means salvation is a movement, not a process. I'm going to finish now. It's a curious story. Very heavy people. Most of the encounters is messing with at all these. They have the security law and what's being spoken. And the youngsters what they were because the speed. They're also being spoken. Really fucking disgusting. Yeah, I'm home and I keep the live stream off for a while. I'm getting some things done in the kitchen. I'll come to the laptop with the soon turn it on. So the microphone is good enough to where I'm in the kitchen. I can shout. Use my outside voice inside. Hey, I'll be right back or something like this. So the acoustics of the apartment and the microphone together make me able to. It's like, I don't know, if I make a live stream and I talk about something, I can keep, if I'm teaching something, I can keep teaching something and just raise my voice incrementally the further I get away. I'll be right back. So this live stream is Covert entering now. This is a stream designed to keep the pornography to come inside my home when I'm away. And as usual, I was being gang stalked, not in public.
There were people outside in the street theater. They sent somebody into the corner store, smell like perfume. That's one of the ways they attacked me physically. After many years of talking, I got a health problem. I got allergies. I became allergic to perfume and chemicals in general. And they've augmented the tactics of having people show up in public where there are gang stalkers by telling them to spray perfume on themselves, which is chemical warfare technically. Meaning the program knows I'm allergic to perfume, so they tell people to spray perfume on their clothes and then get where I am. Okay, so that happened today in the corner store. It's like I'm shopping there when I get ready to finish. There's a person coming in and get kind of in front of the line, and they smell like they just spray perfume all over themselves. So that's one of the ways the program attacks me physically by flying monkeys. They tell them to spray perfume on themselves with perfume because they know that I'm allergic to it, and that's wicked. And this gang stalking is evil. There's a lot of Christian ministries that participate in gang stalking, which shows that I'm American deep state puppet sellouts. Andy Woods is a pastor that has targeted for the gang stalking program. Do the Bible Church is a YouTube ministry. Duluth Bible Church, Dennis Roxer, Tom Stegall, and others that target for the gang stalking program with narcissistic dog abuse attacks. So how do they target me online? Well, if I start checking out a YouTube channel, they start working a lot of narcissistic dog abuse attacks into the videos. It could be anything from veiled threats to gaslighting to basically I push my buttons. It can be communicating subtle veiled threats, gaslighting, things like this. So the Bible Church is a gang stalking church, the church that have targeted me for the gang stalking program. Andy Woods is another one. Robert Baker is another pastor that's targeted with narcissistic dog abuse attacks in his videos. And that's a big part of how they target you. Online, they target with narcissistic dog abuse. Okay. Which would be to explain that to you simply. If I was a gang stalking and not a target video, like if the tables were turned, and let's say Andy Woods was a Christian target video, and I was like a deep state sellout like he is, and he was targeted with his gang stalking. And then let's say he subscribed to my channel. He's like a guy who subscribes to Christian channel as part of like his research or his keeping out different ministries. And he subscribes to my channel. He sees my video show up, like Mike's are liking this on faith law, teach on Genesis or something like this, or talk about it. He subscribes to me. And then I'm a gang stalker, so my handle goes. He said, okay, in the next video, like pick your nose a lot and working like a joke about. It's like some people have a big nose, okay? They got such a big nose it needs to be picked or something like this. And let's say, and the reason I got told to do that, to work that into my next video, is Andy Woods had like a childhood trauma that he was bullied about his nose and that he will be picking in the class or something like this. Do you understand? Like this is subtle. It could be like that, where it's like you just see like in the middle of a stream, I go, yeah, some people got big nose and they like picking or something like this. It's disgusting or something like this. And then the reason that I got told to work that little skit in there, like a little theatric, like a little, just some little thing, it could be a joke. It's like, I don't know if you heard about the guy who had a big nose and he ended up picking or something like this. It's because yesterday I told in the video, Andy Woods subscribed to my channel, and he was bullied as a child about his big nose and that he would be picking or something like this. So it's like trying to re-traumatize somebody and like trigger their childhood traumas. That's one of the tactics that they can use. And it's like they will keep trying things. If there's something that doesn't provoke you and get to you, they try something else. Another type of narcissistic abuse tactics that probably use on you is referencing private information, which means they can reference things you've said on the phone. For example, it's like if you're talking to somebody on the phone or a messenger, they probably can reference things that you've said recently to make you feel violated, don't have any privacy, as it says. So there's many ways, and I might make a video sometime or in the middle of live stream explaining the covert abuse tactics, like the narcissistic dog abuse tactics, and some examples. Another example to like kind of even more. If I would end this live stream right now, and I had beans, and then I had like a diarrhea, and I go to the bathroom, and I had like a diarrhea. And then let's say I wasn't a person who's not insecure. Okay, whereas I can talk about I do a vitamin C detox flush on the regular. I take enough vitamin C to make myself have diarrhea sometimes on purpose. It's called a vitamin C detox flush. It's all I've been doing, and I don't have like insecurities about things like this. Um, Now, let's say I finish the stream and I go and I start. I like, oh, I gotta go to bed. I have diarrhea, and it's like it was because I had been eating beans. Let's say, and it's like maybe I talk to my, hey, I just had diarrhea. Don't tell somebody. I'm a little bit ashamed of myself for this. Next time the barbershop goes live, they're working a joke was like about having beans and diarrhea or something for this, which is like reference also that I recently had. Like I had diarrhea and from eating beans and like flatulence, and then they will reference that. So anything to push your boundaries, and it doesn't have to be there is something that you're ashamed of. Okay, it's like I'm not ashamed. I can talk about I have a diarrhea sometimes. Some days I have flatulence from eating a lot of protein or something like this. I have a pimp on my back and squeezed yesterday. I don't have like insecurities about things like this. I'm comfortable on skin. Um, Now, just anything that they're referencing from a private life will make a sane person uh, unhappy because you're not supposed to have your privacy violated, like strangers commenting on your private life. So that's just that. Anything they're referencing from your personal life is something that will make you feel targeted. So gang stalking, ministries like do the Bible church in the woods. What type of things do they do to target me individuals? It's narcissistic dog abuse tactics, which you can Google narcissistic dog abuse tactics. And then there's something that's going to be unique to the gang stalking where they're working for the deep state that spies on everybody. And a narcissistic dog abuse tactic they can use is to comment, reference things you've said on the phone or that you've done in the privacy of your home. And it doesn't have to be something damn like embarrassing or boring to do. It could be just repeatedly having strangers comment on your private life, personal life, and that'll make you feel violated. That's a form of abuse. So uh, I'm gonna keep speaking out about this, and I'm gonna keep reaching people and speaking the truth about gang stalking of total individuals. And there's quite a lot of Christian ministries involved. And if you are a Christian and you are or become a total individual, you need to know because if they do it to me, they do it to you too. You have to counter that. Since there's no good reason to target someone for this program, tyrannical modern day Setson program, this tyrannical anti-American, wicked, evil persecution program, if there's no good reason to do what they're doing, well, then they can for not a good reason target you too if they get told to do the Bible Church, Rafik or Andy Woods, or these other people. So I'm not talking, we're talking gang stalking, which is what? A persecution program. It's a war. They target you psychologically and physically, not with brain reading satellites and V2K machines. And I don't have any chip implants, okay? But they target you with chemicals, food poisoning, things like this. If you're allergic to something, they can use the thing you're allergic to attack you physically, covertly, things like this. I've been shot with a dart gun. So I'm in a war, okay? I'm in a war. If you're being targeted daily with psychological warfare by a program that has targeted you physically before, attacks you with chemicals intended to hurt you physically, and they have shot in the leg with a dart gun since you're in a war. So that they've been waging war on me for a long time. So I'm gonna keep speaking out, and I can have more influence speaking out than the fake TOs. Here's my basic health fitness protocol, like a graphic that I put up when teaching on health. And this is the what I take, not less than this, okay? Not less, never less than this much of these supplements. That this is my protocol. I take all these supplements, not less than the amounts on screen. Vitamin C, niacinamide, magnesium, D3K2, omega 3, B complex. And then the left here is general advice: detox your life, stay below 200 grams sugar per day. Replace as many toxic hygiene, home cleaning products as possible with more natural, less toxic alternatives. Natural apple soap for shower, wash hands, for etc. So that's what I use. I don't use the fragrance, perfumed, chemical laden hygiene, home cleaning products, hand washing soap, shampoo. I use natural apple soap. Yeah, so gang stalking is not a game, and me wearing protective clothing is not some game like hockey. It's like I'm in a war being persecuted by murderous scumbags. I'm a target of state persecution and tyranny, and I had to wear clothes that act as armor to protect myself. And they have recruit flying monkeys that target me in with psychological warfare, physical warfare, chemical warfare. So unfortunately, I had to wear clothes that act as armor against, make it harder for them to get a dart guns through my clothes again, and chemicals on my body. So I'm gonna keep working to get the word out on different platforms. Gone are days when I was only streaming on YouTube. I have a Rumble. I have several Rumble channels actually. I have a TikTok. I haven't uploaded anything to TikTok for a while. Instagram. I have an Instagram, Max89. I have a Facebook page. I have all kinds of platforms. I might even get to Twitch stream at some point. So, um, yeah, all live God in Christ Jesus suffered persecution. There's some Christians out there, if you start living God enough, you might get all of this persecution going to. And the deep state control this world. They control a lot of the influence you listen to, a lot of podcasters. They control the mainstream media. They control the fake alternative media, like the major ones. They control the movie industry. They control the music industry. Control means exerts influence to a significant degree. So when I say control, if I say control, I control the deep state controls. I say the deep state control Hollywood. Okay, the deep state control the music industry. What does that mean and what does it not mean? When I say they control it, well, if I look at, I can find foreshadow the pandemic where the deep state were hinting before they pull off the pandemic that they're going to have pandemic. In Luke Fiasco's words never said. Music, other music videos, the themes are there. I can find foreshadow the pandemic in Hollywood movies. Resident Evil, uh, the Lost series contains foreshadow the pandemic. And so on and so forth. So if I say they control it, doesn't mean that every person from the janitor and like a whole production set, like every writer, every actor, every like the gaffer, the sound technician, and the editor, and they're all like, yeah, we got with Illuminati deep state agents working together, and we're working hidden truths into this episode or something like this. No, not necessarily. Um, but the deep state exert influence. They have enough power so that if you look at it on the whole, say what I'm saying is accurate, they control it. Because if the deep state, we need to have hints at the coming pandemic in some series, some Hollywood movies. And then later on, you see that they succeed in that. That means that they have control of this industry to the point where they sit down, yeah, we're going to have 9/11 happen. We've been planning the 9/11 attacks for 20 years now. So like in 2000, September 2001, we're going to control demolition, bring down the towers and blame the Arabs and airplanes that didn't bring down the towers for real. So we need to start hinting in pop culture about what we're planning to do in the future. The coming 9/11 attacks before they did pull them off. And you see all these instances of that. Die Hard, Always, even The Simpsons, and so on and so forth. So that shows that they have control of the movie industry, Hollywood, because they can choose. We want to have this show up in Hollywood movies, and you have that show up in Hollywood movies. Out of like 1,000 movies, at least one blockbuster is going to have hints of, like in the 90s, at least one blockbuster every year is going to have hints of the coming 9/11 attacks in it. So that shows that they control it. So control doesn't mean every person working in Hollywood is an Illuminati agent knowingly. Okay. So For example, if I go to a psych ward, the deep state have agents. If you have a hospital, there's going to be at least one nurse, at least one doctor at the hospital that's a deep state puppet. That if somebody becomes a total deep state, they can be used to target them in the hospital, for example. Um, does that mean that every nurse and every doctor knows this? Like, yeah, we're all agents of the Illuminati, and sometimes we get orders to do things, like to this inmate or something like this. Not necessarily. But it's going to be, if you have a hospital, you're going to have with like 20 nurses working in the hospital and 12 doctors. You're going to have one out of those 12 doctors at least, and one out of those nurses that is an agent and can get told to do things to patients if they need to. So, which brings it to my next topic. If I end up going to psych ward or prison and I die, that it means they murdered me. Okay. I'm not going to underline myself. I would never. And that's one of the favorite ways of the deep state to take people out. Now, I don't live in fear of that. But since I know that there's evil schemes and devices that people are working, yeah, we might have to take Mike out in a psych ward. We're working towards getting him in the prison or psych ward. And then we might take him out in there. Since I'm not suicidal, if I know there's people that are plotting to potentially take me out in this, that, or the other way, make me have an accident, quote unquote, poison my food, and it's like if there's a way that I can make it at least a little bit harder for them to pull that off by just saying something in the video, like if I go to prison or a psych ward and they tell you I unalive myself, that means they unalive me. They made like Epstein. They took me out and made it look like I did it to myself. If I have an accident in there and a natural health problem, they made it happen. Um, that it makes it a little bit harder, possibly for them to pull something like that off. So since I'm not suicidal, I'm protecting my life. So if I believe that there might be plots to take me out in this and that way, and I can make it at least a little bit harder by calling that out and be like, here's something they might try. Don't believe they have to tell you I underline myself. If you have an accident, most likely they caused it. If I die within a natural health problem within 10 years, most likely they caused that too. Okay. So anyway, I'm a persecuted Christian, taught video, taught with gang stalk. I've been taught for more than a decade. This is a bar. This is very similar to the Sursetsen program that the German government had in the 70s and 80s, the Stasi Sursetsen program. And notice how I don't sound like the paid, fake, crazy talking counterintelligence, fake TI agents online. They like to talk about RNM and V2K machines because I'm a real TI being targeted with gang stalking on and speaking truth about it. So I don't hear voices in my head. There's no V2K machines beaming voices into my head. There's no brain chip implants. Okay. And I don't believe that the government can read my mind with satellites like RNM machines, like Scott Snitzer used to talk about when he was on YouTube. Uh, okay. So it's everything I'm claiming is happening to me is possible. Doesn't require the suspension of uh, like natural laws. Okay, so if you look at what makes me different, being a tornado, and we're not getting into like being in really good shape, it's like amazing that despite 10 plus years of gang stalking, that the narcissistic abuse, the chemical warfare, work to target my finances, attack me directly physically, I'm in better shape than the average man who's never been targeted with narcissistic abuse, psychopathic abuse, and like a war. Now we talk about what makes me different in other ways, like what I present and what I say. So remember that gang stalk is real, but most online TIs are not. So there's a lot of fake TIs active online who have a job to discredit the topic of gang stalk with the crazy talk, which is why you see so many people claiming to be TIs talk about this online in comments or YouTube videos even claiming that they attack with V2K machines or RNM or ELF weapons or something like this. Anything that sounds like really nutty, throw that into the mix or talk about gang stalking as a way to discredit it, which is why a lot of people go, oh, yeah, say if I show up on a panel stream, I go, I'm a target individual. And if somebody in the chat, like watching, it might go, what are the voices in your head telling you? Because if the person is like rare that has heard about gang stalkathon videos, what they've seen is like the Vice's hit piece, propaganda piece that's designed to cover up gang stalking and make people think that people like me are nut jobs. It's like if people have been exposed more likely than not to gang stalking target videos, they've heard people claim to be a TI that say they have a brain chip implant and that they're attacked with voices in your head technology, where it's like voices are being beamed into the head, and the technology is reading the mind and looking through the eyes and all this other stuff. So, here's the point. If I would listen to Scott Snitzer, for example, which used to be a person that would be dealing with him as a counterintelligence agent, like Stop by the Feds Lisa is a new one that popped up. And I've been dealing with her being a problem TI, helping to cover up gang stalking with her crazy talk and other things. So I can't stop by the fence Lisa as a fake TI, okay? And before that, there was a guy that was focused on called Scott Snitzer. He used to be on YouTube. And I didn't wait until he got off YouTube to start talking about him. Meaning I was talking about him when he was on YouTube. And he got off YouTube. And I'm still talking about him. So Scott Snitzer will be making videos, claiming to be a total video, claiming to have been total for more than 20 years, and being a wolf in sheep's clothing fake support person, like somebody pretending to be what I am for real. Somebody has competence, the will, and ability to help the TI community in getting the truth clearly in what gang stalking is from experience and research, what it's not, and what you can do to protect yourself mentally and physically. Even if you are these people that are living in fear, well, you can solve that problem. By solving the fear of death, you can become a Christian. And I can teach you that too. How to become a Christian so you can become a person. I don't care if these people kill me, I'm not afraid of dying because I know where I'm going to heaven when I die. Because Mike taught me how to get saved and then go to heaven when I die. So that's another thing that I can teach. But most of the things that I focus on is like practical things. So here's the point. Scott Snitzer used to be on YouTube, and I count him as a counterintelligence agent. And he'd be pretending to be what I am for real, a person here looking to help TIs. Okay, looking to help TIs by teaching you the truth that you need to know. And me looking to help TIs, I'm not Mr. Nice Guy, happy agreeable. It's like, oh, but Mike, sometimes you rant. Yeah, I'm frustrated. I got a lot of idiots out there helping the gang stalking program because you've been brainwashed by listening to fake TIs. And now you're out here being unpaid disinfo agents help to cover gang stalking. Idiots or something like this. I might say something like that. I mean, there are some TIs that are unpaid crazy talkers. They're like online, they've been brainwashed by listening to Scott States or Catcher Horton to believe that they're targeted with satellites out of space. And they're out here making videos like, yeah, I'm tired of the gang stalkers. I'm being attacked with satellites out of space. And now you're helping to cover up gang stalking, like a weird form of Stockholm syndrome well, it's like where you're helping a useful idiot. So I'm like, if you're a crazy stalking TI, you're part of the problem. You're helping the gang stalking program destroy your life and other TI's life. If you're helping to cover up with crazy talkers, you're out here spewing misinfo talking points. You believe that the government can read your mind with satellites. I had talked about RNM being used on as a TI. That's the thing. Most crazy talking TIs are fake TIs. And it would be rare that you have a legit organic torrent video who's been brainwashed by listening to fake TIs into believing some of the myths. And they're out here, it's like, yeah, I'm a TI. And part of the torrent again is to read in my mind with satellites, something like this. Now, that'd be very rare. That'd be very rare that somebody would have that problem. Okay. So, I mean, I could see, understand psychology, how you could take a person who's isolated, has got CPTSD, is like hyperadrenalized and stressed all the time, and mentally unwell from years of targeting, and then subject them to the right type of gaslighting and indoctrination, where it's like they're isolated and they're looking for allies, looking for solutions. They found Scott Stacy's channel, and it's like it starts brainwashing like a direct weapon salesman. Be like, yeah, they're harassing the supermarket here. Well, yeah, I know they're doing that, and it'd be like, yeah, but you gotta understand that they're also reading your mind with satellites, okay? And some of your dreams, they're controlling your dreams and your thoughts too. It's like over time, he starts like working and keep hitting that point. It's like exotic technology is also used on it. They're reading your mind. They control your thoughts. They control your dreams. Synthetic telepathy, okay? They control your dreams. If you have a dream at night, it's the technology giving you these dreams. You can't trust your own like textbook gaslighting is what I'm exposing for. Where it's like your thoughts and feelings it could be come from technology. which is that textbook gaslighting, where he's working to get targets to be like, I can't trust my thoughts and feelings because Scott used to tell me that my thoughts and feelings are not my own. They could be coming from technology. So it's like if you feel your intuition is that I think they're poisoning my food, well, that could be the gang stalking program technology just trying to get you scared about food poisoning or something like this. So it's like it's working to that's gaslighting basically. Okay, you can't trust your thoughts and feelings, and you have to look to the gang stalking fake coach Scott Snitzer to navigate reality because you can't trust your own thoughts and feelings and perception of things. So you have to look to the cult leader Scott Snitzer to be like, yeah, they definitely read your mind with satellites, and here's where to buy the shielding gadgets or something like this. So Scott Snitzer was a person I was dealing with when he was still active online, and I believe that most likely his handler pulled him off. Like his handler, the program decided to pull him off the arena, the battlefield, possibly because I was doing such a good job exposing him that it did more harm than good to keep out here. Because it'd be like, here's an example of a fake TI. See, all the videos I was doing, it's like Scott needs a fake TI. And if that all that it was, like people, I had some people see my videos and go look at his channel, and that's a fake TI. So study him, know that what he's doing is that's what a TI, fake TI does. Even that would be so valid. That be like, this guy's a fake TI, trust me. Go watch his videos and study his behavior, and you can tell that he's harmful. That's the point. Now I will get into more specifics, where it's like the breakdown his tactics as it is. So if you look at Scott Snitzer, a fake TI, fake coach, survival coach, okay, which is pretending to be the type of person I am. So it's out here being targeted for real by the program, not working for it, and is valuable to the TI community. If targets find my channel, they can learn a lot. They will actually help them. They can learn about what the gang stalking is, what it's not, how to deal with it, like successful strategies to protect yourself from the target. Like I've been the only TI that's been for all these years teaching how to set up a security system for more than 8 years on another YouTube channel already. From the beginning, I've been teaching TI security system, teaching targets, first of all, that you need to be aware of covert entry. There were many years that I was taught I didn't know about that. I hadn't realized yet that the program is sneaking some home number away. And in hindsight, you could go, I should have known. But it's like if you're in survival mode and super stressed and you're being harassed all the time, it's like you're not going to be your sharpest. So it took a while until I realized that it's like, oh, covert entry is another thing the program does to TS I need to be aware of. And I wonder how many times I got poisoned by the program before that, and getting allergies from being poisoned, quite possibly on top of everything else, like the stress from the program, psychological warfare, being poisoned by being sprayed with stuff when I'm outside sometimes, and food poison on top of that. So, anyways, the point. So, Scott Snitzer talk about gang stalking was not helpful to expose this to the public. He was helping to keep this from getting exposed to the public. And if I analyze this and think about, put this point across to you, I'm a person claiming to be a target individual, and anything that I'm claiming is happening to me is something that has happened before to individuals, like this Rosetta program. And so everything that I'm claiming is happening is something is one, not impossible. Two, has happened before in recent history. Sursetson. You can read the Wikipedia article on Sursetson, where the German Stasi government had a program taught individuals and psychologically and in physical ways. So, and you have you have the former head of Los Angeles FBI, Ted Gunderson, confirming his own affidavit the gang stalking taught videos is real. See? So, what I'm claiming, there's a government whistleblower, Ted Gunderson, saying, yeah, that this is going on. There is a program called gang stalking taught individuals, physically, with harassment, spying on them, and in other ways. So, what I'm claiming for all these years, my testimony, everything I'm saying is possible. See, it's not impossible. It's been confirmed by government whistleblowers, at least one. And nothing that I'm saying, and everything I'm saying has happened before. Like, oh, Mike is saying there's a secret program destroying his life, state persecution, calls gang stalking, calls it gang stalking. And you can find on Wikipedia in the 70s and 80s, recent history in the West by a government, a program that was secretly working to destroy people's lives. So, and smear campaigns, recruiting flying monkeys, targeted person, so they had, for example, one physical way they targeted videos of targets of Stetson was purposely incorrect medical treatment. So the stars would have like plants in hospitals and stuff. So if the TI would have a health problem, go to hospital, the targets of Stetson, they would have like a plant doctor in there. They might go like, hey, nurse, prescribe him this, and like on purpose too much, or a medicine that he's like trying to make the person sick, like by prescribing too much or something too little, or like an accident if there's surgery. Oh, we cut the guy's nerve in the back when we're gonna. Do you understand? There's so many ways that they could target Stetson receive purpose incorrect medical treatment. Then I've had experience when I go to a dentist poke a hole in my tooth. Okay. I go to a hospital to get stitches, guy stepped on a piece of glass. They stitched me up, sent me home. You can't walk with it. They don't give me the crutches. Okay. They sent me home without crutches. Um, so anyway, here's the point. Everything that I'm claiming is possible, confirmed by at least one whistleblower, has happened before in recent history. A program targeting individuals covertly, psychologically and physically, via recruitment of flying monkeys by smear campaigns and things like this. So not everything that I'm claiming, it's not impossible, but I'm claiming is possible, has happened before, and it's confirmed by at least one government whistleblower to be real. Okay. Whereas if you listen to other people like Scott Snitzer, what he teaches, what he claims about gangster or used to, requires the existence of previously undisclosed unknown technology. And this was part of my criticism, which is still out here. Meaning, if I say I got shot in the leg with a dart gun, which I believe happened, I can show you CIA dart gun. You can search YouTube search, Rumble search, I have video on it. And in the 70s, they had something that can shoot a dart through your clothes into your body and give you a heart attack or stroke. And I believe I was hit with something similar to that and survived it. But where it hit my leg, there's damage, like a nerve damage, whatever, and a numb spot there. So notice this, like, well, there is technology, since the 70s at least, that can shoot a dart through the air, secretly other people around will notice it got hit, into a person's body and poison them, basically. See? So that doesn't require that claim the existence of unknown technology. And it's like some part of the TI shields will be like, look at this Google Drive document, proof of direct entry weapons, V2K machines. And it's like some fringe thing. We're talking about public records, Wikipedia articles, like Sir Setson. That's Wikipedia. It's not like, yeah, there's evidence, Mike, of direct entry weapons reading your mind, V2K machines, reading your mind. And then they sent you to some site on Google. Somebody uploaded like a paint document with like words where it's like there is secret technology or something like this. Okay, okay. So it's important. What Scott Snitzer would be claiming would require the existence of previously unknown technology and or the suspension of like natural law. Understand? It's like gravity, this and that, Newton's law of motion. It's like, for example, well, they're reading your mind with satellites, okay, or they're reading your mind, okay. Your TI Scott Snitzer would be claiming that they're reading your mind. Now, that would be what? Unknown technology. That they have satellites or something that can read your mind, okay, as you walk around your home through concrete walls, okay. A lot of buildings have metal roofs, which is like a partial Faraday cage, okay. So, and ceramics, which is used part of like radioactivity shielding. It's like ceramics can be used as part of shielding from radiation or something like this. It's like a reactor pool. It's like the ceramics, and there's also water and things like this, lead and whatever. So yeah, basically it's like, oh yeah, you mean to tell me there's the satellites that can from outer space somehow hit me with a beam or something, okay, and get through concrete and ceramic tiles and metal and all these materials from a distance and somehow not just have like an invisible beam traveling through all these things, but it will bounce back and it'll be like readable, so somehow they can read the Bible with it. Okay, you know how a bat can go, or like a sonar, ping, and then it bounces back, and you can like interpret it, be like, oh, there's like a whale over here, okay, because they hit it with the ping, and it bounces back and lets you know a little bit about kind of low resolution, the shape and size and distance of the object, okay, or like a radar. Um, Now you don't have it to where you can read the whale's mind, okay? Even in the most advanced like nuclear submarines, okay, they don't have where they can ping and be like read the mind of the captain of the Soviet submarine. Oh, he's thinking about taking a ride here. We know where to intercept him. It's okay. So it's like they don't even have the most expensive technology. Like obviously that we something that people have been trying hard to get that technology. Okay, can you imagine the tactical advantage if you would have the technology anyway? That you have a destroyer vessel. Okay, so the Soviets have a destroyer, and you have an American submarine, and you have American satellites and all this technology. Now, obviously, if it was possible, don't you think that there would be something that the U.S. Government would want to know? Be like, oh, we can read like the guy who's on the deck of the destroyer vessel, the Soviet commander or admiral, okay, the guy driving the captain, okay. It's like, oh, we have a submarine, we can see it there. Like Ping used the secret satellites to read his mind, remote neural monitoring. Like, oh, he's thinking about dropping depth charges. They're gonna drop. He's planning to drop depth charges. So we know to go deeper right now to not be hit by or something like this. Like obviously, if that was possible, it'd be used. So anyway, support. So that's part of what you get from Scott Snitzer. That they can read your mind through the technology, satellites, yada yada. They can put thoughts in your mind and control the feelings remotely, which is not real. So I'm a total individual talking with gang stalking, and if you're a total individual or you know one, you can refer them to my channel where they can learn things that is going to help them to survive gang stalking and be better with it. So what are some things then have helped me greatly? Well, getting a security system to make it harder for the program to sneak inside my home, and that's called covert entry. So covert entry denial, that's important. Stopping the program able to sneak inside the home way and post your food, do bad things in your apartment. So covert entry. TIPPE, meaning wearing clothes that make it harder for the program to able to get a dart into my body when I'm outside, or get chemicals that if they spray them on me, like directly on my skin. Like to wear clothes that have protect my body from chem sprays and dart guns and other things. And internal protection shielding, meaning taking supplements, eating a low sugar diet, um, taking vitamins, supplementing with things, making sure I'm not deficient in vitamin C, magnesium, and other things. Because if you're deficient in vitamin C, you're more vulnerable. So I support me. I make a lot of vitamin C. I personally, I don't take less than 6 grams per day of vitamin C. The only time I would take less is if I'll be run out of vitamin C and not have it, okay? If I don't have the ability to get 6 grams of vitamin C plus per day, that's the only time I wouldn't. So I take liposomal vitamin C and regular. Now you can watch my other videos to learn more about this. Here's my health fitness protocol. I stay below 200 grams of sugar per day. I've detoxed my life. I've replaced all these toxic hide and home cleaning products with more natural, less toxic alternatives. So instead of using perfumed, fragranced products like softener and shampoo and hand washing soap, I use natural apple soap. I take 6 grams plus, not less than 6 grams of vitamin C per day. I actually take a lot more than 6 grams, but never less than 6 grams. Niacinamide, 1+ grams, above a gram per day. Magnesium, above a gram per day. D3 and K2, 6,000 IUs per day, at least. Omega-3, 3 to 6 capsules, at least. B complex 23 a day. Other supplements are good to take is NAC and ALA. So yeah, I really like that it's like, yeah, you're the fucking filth out there, and I'm gonna cuss. You're the fucking filth out there. You fucking disgusting freak, do the Bible church stalking, murder cult people, Andy Boots and others. You sold out, say, you sold out an un-American, anti-constitutional program that targets people in despicable ways, and that's who you are. Where, and it's so evil that they can't even have this program in the open because it's so evil where you be doing things that even the last words, oh, dude, you guys are really evils if they knew what you were doing. Working for a secret program, poisoning people, like everything you've been, the program you've been working for have been doing. If people knew that, they'd be wanting to drag you out of your churches and beat you to death in the street or stuff like this. That's what would happen to you. There'd be riots in the streets if people knew what has been going on from behind inside of American churches, what you've been a part of. And I'm not saying it should happen, but I'm saying statistically, I believe that if people learn what you have been doing, like the deep state sellers and the boots to the Bible church, I believe that there'd be riots in the streets. If this got exposed to people, the gang stalking, there'd be really people would want to do bad things. So I support do the Bible church. I'm not calling for it, but I'm psychological. It'd be like if they get to this point where the masses know that they did 9/11, the deep state, people will be hit in the streets with pitchforks and torches. Okay, that's what I believe would happen if people woke up to 9/11. He said, "Oh, okay." So here's the point. Um, it's like they're part of a stalking murder cult. They're part of a cult, a stalking murder cult, witch hunt. Okay, like a witch hunt, say, and it's like they call it this as the fucking numbskulls. Do the Bible Church, Andy Woods, and others. Robert Baker have taught me for the program. It's like, yeah, we're doing something that has to be covered up. So Mike could be like, this is happening. I'm the target of a secret persecution program. People get put up to target me with narcissistic abuse, harassment, this and that. And then the same program has to send people back. That's not happening to him. He's a paranoid nut job, crackhead, or something like this. So if I speak the truth, this program needs lies to survive, see. It has to be covered up. And people that are speaking the truth about it, people have to go, that's not happening to him, see. Okay, I'd be like, this guy is crazy. Nobody's out to get him, see. So people are targeting in a way where if I speak the truth about it, there's a need to have people not believe in being targeted, see. So it's not evil or anything what you're doing, but it's something that has to be covered up, okay? And if a person speaks about what you're doing, people have to be paid to go and say, this guy's crazy, don't believe him. Okay. And it's something that's illegal according to the law of the land in Sweden, America, unconstitutional, and all kinds of things. So gang stalking is evil. It's domestic terrorism. They're working with enemies for the domestic. Andy Woods, who's one of these passing target for the program, is also a person helping the deep state to cover up the mass murder of Americans on 9/11 by saying, no, that the people are lying about. People are saying that the official story was not true. It's like they're conspiracy theorists and they're bad. No, you're bad. Chill. You're a bad person. You're chilling for the deep state persecution program. So I'm gonna finish up and I'm gonna keep live streaming. I'm a persecuted Christian taught video, and I'm in a war. And thanks to God, I've been able to survive and figure out effective strategies to protect myself and fight back against the program. So that's the end of the video. Don't forget to subscribe to me on Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, other platforms if you don't want to miss out. And if you watch on Rumble, YouTube, if you watch on YouTube, subscribe to me on Rumble. There's some videos that only go to Rumble. That's going to be the end of the video. Nothing I've said in this video, disclaimer, is to be taken as medical advice information. It's purely my personal belief and opinion. I'm not a doctor, okay? Talk to a doctor before starting to stop taking the supplements and medications. It's a good end of the video.